I'm C1, and this is The Christopher Show. Thank you very much for joining today. You're probably wondering where C2 is. That's a long story. We'll get into that in a little bit. Not a long story, just a story. I'll probably be doing these by myself going forward a lot. He'll be on every once in a while. I'll probably bring people on from time to time. I am working on the acoustics. I've got to get a new soundboard connection cable so that I can actually take care of that. I'll do that by the next episode, hopefully, but it may take a couple of times of figuring that out because it's going to be a different setup than I've had previously. For those that were watching the World Series, welcome. The game just wrapped up. The Dodgers just beat the Blue Jays 5-4 in 11 innings. It was a hell of a game. It was Game 7. It was a hell of a series, and what a baseball season. I don't watch a lot of baseball. I'm a Tigers fan, but we did well. We did make it into the playoffs, and then we pulled our great pitcher in the 7th inning of Game 5, and you just kind of you knew when he got pulled that was a terrible decision. The guy he was on pitch number 99 and still had several left that he could have thrown, and it was a Game 5, win or go home. And I think they were trying to save him for the next game. Well, that next game is now the springtime. So congratulations, Tigers. I love you guys, but what the hell? So now, let's move on from that. I've stopped being so political. I'm going to other avenues, other subjects and things like that because for a few years I had gotten really political. I'll still be political from time to time, but it won't be a large part of my life because a lot's happening and I just don't feel like discussing a lot of those topics. I'd rather discuss life and what's going on there. So let's go down to and talk about C2. What's going on with C2? He's living on his own. When we moved back from Vegas, he had moved in with me and then he moved out about a year ago now, a long time ago. And so he's living on his own. He's working as a car salesman. He's been doing that for 2.5 years. And we get together, we watch wrestling events, we watch sporting events, we watch football, we watch the Detroit Lions, we watch football when we can. And so we still have a great relationship. We talk every day. It's not like anything bad's happened. I'll miss him on the show and I'll wish that he was here regularly. But to him, I love you. I hope that you're doing well tonight. And obviously we'll talk later. What else have I done since we've been gone? Well, I've gone to visit my family a couple of times. I think the last episode I did was December, so we're now in November. It's been almost a year, 10 months, but close enough. But I went to see my family in Alabama in February, and then I went to see them again in June. I did get a change of jobs in February, so I'm now at a higher level within the company. I've been with the same company for a long time, and I love what I do and who I work with. But I did go see my family in February and June. I lost my uncle in June, so that was why I wound up going back there on short notice. One of my favorite uncles, I grew up on his farm building a barn, helping to clear the forest. Like we put fence, like the big thick fence post up around his farm so that he could have cattle and things like that. I would cut his grass with a push mower. I remember summers that I had blisters all across here from the vibration of the lawnmower all day because I had to use the push mower. But it was a great life lesson, and yeah, it was hard work, but as I got older and I found like office jobs and things like that, I was like, oh, so you can actually have an air conditioner instead of having to work out on the farm and sweat away? Because it was hot summers growing up in Alabama. I used to play chess all the time at his house. He was an excellent chess player, one of the best things he did. He was a preacher. That was a fantastic influence as a child, just with all the things about God and the way he handled himself, the way he presented himself. So my Uncle John, he lived to be 83. He'll be missed. I do love him. And I went back for his funeral so I could speak at his funeral as well. One of the things that I did do over the last few years, because you never know how long you're going to have somebody like that in your life, but for a preacher that is in his 80s and has been preaching since he was a teenager, it's a fantastic opportunity. You're looking at 65 years of knowledge in terms of the Bible and the things that he's learned. So I used to get good books from him to read, and a couple of the good ones that he gave me along the way were Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, St. Augustine, City of God, and I've read a couple of other books, another book by St. Augustine recently as well. But great things like that and great conversations that I had with him. I let him know what he meant to me as a child growing up and how important he was to me. I did have family come visit me in June as well. That was fantastic. I showed my sister around. I let her rent a car and drive around as well, though, because she wanted to get on the freeways here because she does come from Alabama and they have freeways there, but the ones out here get a little crazier and she wanted to try it. I'm like, all right, go ahead. So she came to visit me, brought my nephew out. We had a great week. They went back, and then I wound up moving after they went back, and so I changed where I lived, moved down to a smaller apartment, something that's more my size, I love, which is where I am now. I'm actually doing this podcast from. But I moved, and it's great to have less space to manage and less space to clean and all of that. I had a bigger place, and it was like 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and more than I needed. So work, I am working. I did get the promotion, like I said. So professionally, what I've done, I got the promotion. In addition to that, I'm a program manager, a senior manager of program management. And so I have taken some courses over the last year. I talk about professional development all the time with the people that are around me, the people that know me, my family, my friends. So some of the things I've done for myself outside of my work is I've taken some courses on program management. I took about 6 hours a course. I'm sorry, that course was 8 hours. I took another course on Asana. I took another course on SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. So I've taken about 29 hours of professional development courses. I strongly recommend that. The other thing that I'll do is I'll listen to things while I'm working out that contribute to my work, so that when I go back, I can take what I was reading or whatever I was listening to and integrate that into my work and facilitate accomplishing goals and missions at work. So do as much professional development as you can. That's just my advice to you. It helps, it makes you worth more. I explained to my son, it's like this table that I'm on right now. I would never expect to pay more for this table than I've already paid for it. Because it's the same table this year, it's the same table next year, it's the same table the year after that. But if you came along and you threw a mic stand on it, you threw a sound studio on it and other things like that and started to enhance it, I'm gonna pay more for that. The same thing goes with your career. If you are career-oriented, career-focused, and focused on growing, then make sure that you're constantly learning and constantly doing career development, because the company's not gonna pay you more to continue doing what you've been doing all of these years. They might give you the annual 2 to 3% increase, but if you want the real increases in your salary, make sure you're doing professional development, looking for certifications and things like that. I have 3 certifications in project management, the PMP, the CSM, and the ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. So I have gotten certifications within my career field. And I still continue to take courses. I don't necessarily worry about upkeep of all the other certifications, because those 3 certifications are really well respected. And the more you get, the more annual fees you have to pay. And so it's a balance between number of certificates and number of certifications versus what the return on investment is. To give you an example, my return on investment, the first year that I got my PMP was I got a $25,000 raise. So take that into account for your professional development. There is a lot that goes into that kind of stuff. It's your years of service plus actually going through a course to learn the material. The PMP is a 30-hour course. In addition to that, it's a 4-hour exam. It's a tough exam with 240 questions. You have a whole breadth of knowledge to learn on the subject in order to be ready. But if you've been in your field long enough, a lot of those you just have to figure out how to apply them. With that said, that gets me through family, life, my son, work. So I do invest, and I continue to recommend that people invest when I talk to them, whether it's your 401k, whether it's starting up a small stock account and learning to invest for yourself. I've been investing for 25 years. When I first did it, actually maybe 28 at this point, but when I first did it, it was accidental because I basically got stock options for the company I was working for. I learned with those, and then I didn't invest again for a while. So when you first do it, it's like it's stutter. It's like start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, sputter. That's the word I'm looking for. But as you get better at it, then you begin to go, okay, now I can add another stock. I absolutely recommend long-term investing. Short-term investing will get you burned. You'll wind up with a lot of losses. And with long-term investing, you actually start looking into the other elements of the company, so you get to know companies more intimately, because you'll look at their quarterly earnings, you'll look at their fundamentals and what they're doing. So with that being said, one stock that I am invested in, actually let me say this, also get in stock groups. I have a couple of stock groups that I'm in. I'm in them with friends. I've made friends along the way. They teach me information that they learn and charts and technicals and fundamentals and all of this. And then I in turn educate them with some of the information I find. We work together as a team to make each other better. And the cool thing is I'm with expert level people now because of how good I am at my investments. So when we have conversations, they're very intelligent conversations, and I love that stuff. That being said, they help you with research, analysis, and investment ideas. So they help you with investment ideas going forward. And some of the more experienced people absolutely love helping the newer people so that they can bring them up and mentor them and shape them. I have a couple of people that I'm doing that with as well in the stock groups that I'm in. With that brings me to Clover Health. Clover Health Developments, that's one of my biggest investments at the moment. I'm not recommending it by any means. Do your homework. Never ever take financial advice from me. I'm not a financial advisor, other than the stuff that I said, which is learn, go join a stock group. That's not financial advising though. That's just recommendations of how to get involved with it. But I am going to go to Clover Health and the developments that we've had recently. Chelsea Clinton was just asked to leave the board on Friday, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that does to the stock price on Monday. Quarterly earnings is on Wednesday, so we have a couple, it's on the 5th, whatever day that is, so I think that's Wednesday. But I'm sorry, it's on the 4th, so that'll be Tuesday, and then Humana earnings are on Wednesday. What else is there? Counterpart Assistant case studies and press releases. The company's been releasing them consistently over the last 3 to 4 months, and so I think since August, September, October, so the last 3 months, and we're now into November, but they've done a great job of being consistent, so we've been able to learn more about the software. But the cool thing is that it's communication from the company. They're being transparent, and I love transparency with the company. The more transparent they are, the more you understand their business strategy, and the more confident you feel in their evolution of where they're going. So you get more comfortable leaving your money in that stock. So those have been coming out. Andrew presented before Congress. Andrew is the CEO of Clover Health. He presented before Congress, which is a really positive thing because he gets to know some of the congressional people, but also presents Clover Health and Counterpart Assistant as a whole to Congress. So this was another positive development for me. Here it is. Earnings is on November 5th, and then we have annual enrollment coming up for Clover Health as well. So this is stuff that I work with my teammates, the people in my stock group, that we analyze this company. We know it from a lot of different avenues. I have some people in there that are technical chart kind of people. It's fantastic. We talk about Elliott waves and things like that. We talk about Ichimoku clouds. We talk about resistance, support, trends, and things like that with the share price and where we see it going. Fundamental developments. We are looking to see if we can find out if they have SaaS revenue. SaaS is software as a service. I've been calling it AI as a service, so we'll find out about that. Hopefully we find out about that this quarter. If not this quarter, then it's in the future at some point. But with all the press releases that they've been doing on Counterpart Assistant, I expect to hear some guidance in terms of what they expect to happen with Counterpart Assistant and partnerships and things like that for this quarter. So that's one of the bigger developments that I am looking to hear this quarterly earnings. And then they had a press release that came out about something called RHTP. I have one of my friends that knows that really well, so he's teaching me some of that information about RHTP. It's about rural areas and getting them health insurance and things like that. So it apparently is a good revenue source, and Clover Health has been expanding into the Gulf region. That was another press release that came out. We've been looking and monitoring. They've hired a lot of positions to grow that Gulf region. Some of the positions they've hired for are also to manage partnerships and things like that. For Counterpart Assistance, so that's interesting to us. We're looking to hear a lot about those developments really soon. Another thing is we're also looking for GAAP profitability. When are they going to give us guidance for that? They've been giving us EBITDA profitability, but they need to transition from that to GAAP profitability. GAAP is generally accepted accounting principles. EBITDA is earnings before income taxes, depreciation, amortization, and the GAAP profitability is a better display of how well the company is running. The EBITDA is a numbers game, and a lot of people don't respect that as much as the GAAP profitability. So we're hoping to hear about that come the 5th, which is Wednesday. I have 11.5, but it feels like it's 11.4. Anyway, finally, with that, I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to come on, do a quick episode. There's a lot of echo. I'm going to work on fixing that because I do realize that is a big thing that's going on in this place. I don't have my sign up yet. It's in the closet, so I may have that up on the next episode. I'll be looking forward to doing the next episode, but this is the first step toward that. And with everything in life, it's baby steps to get to a big one. I posted something on LinkedIn the other day. It's a lot of snacks equal one whole meal. So sometimes you don't eat the whole meal all in one sitting. You do it in nibbles along the way, but the ultimate goal is to eat the whole meal, whether you do it in one sitting or whether you keep coming back to it. And that's the same thing with my podcast. I'll take a nibble at a time. I'll make it a little better each time. I didn't get to get into Sora. Actually, before I wrap up, Sora AI, I have been on that lately. I'll go ahead and speak about it for a moment. It's fantastic. AI is a huge part of our lives. I was just talking about Counterpart Assistant. Using Sora helps me to understand on a level of how to communicate with AI, because AI is going to become a better part of our lives, a bigger part of our lives. So we need to learn how to do it. I know that my son has some applications that he uses for AI and to get better, but there's ChatGPT, and AI isn't just ChatGPT or Gemini or what else, or Grok. It's also these other apps like Sora allows you to create videos. I think Suno allows you to create music. So there are a lot of different things with AI at the moment. AI is a tool. It's going to replace some people, yes, along the way, but the people that will wind up having the better jobs are the ones that adapt and adjust with AI and figure out how to use the AI tools to be better at their jobs. So if you can learn to use AI to be better at your job, you're going to be ahead of the pack and you're going to be putting out more high quality work. I do want to say that when you're dealing with AI, be very careful. It does create hallucinations, it creates bias. It is not the perfect tool. It's not, and I won't even say the word yet. It will never be the perfect tool, which is why you need to learn to use it, learn how to communicate with it to get the output that you need. So whatever you put in, if you're given a description, for instance, and you're like, oh, I need a tall person in this video that's going to sing a song. That's a description, but it's going to go ahead and assume that there's a lot of detail about that person that you're not giving. Eye color, hair color, body structure, and things like that. So what you've learned to do as you use more AI is you start learning to give it those details and to fill those details in. Same thing goes with AI in your workplace. If you learn to use the AI in your workplace that is offered to you, you'll get better at it. And again, it adds more value to you. And I started this with talking about professional development. That very much is professional development, to figure out how to use AI more effectively outside of the workplace, so that when you get to the workplace, you can use it more effectively there. And use it in both places, obviously, personal and work, but just improve and continue to do that, because that's where the marketplace is going. And I want you to stay ahead of the curve, and I want you to continue to increase your value, which increases your salary, which increases your income for your family, which makes life more comfortable. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time today. I'm C1, and this has been The Christopher Show. Thank you.